Is this nicotine or is this marijuana? Many parents don't know, and you're not alone. They look the same and they smell similar. As if having a teenager wasn't stressful enough, gone are the days when parents used to primarily worry about teens drinking and smoking cigarettes. Now there are more concerns. Vaping and marijuana use is very popular. And if you're thinking, not my kid, you need to pull your head out of the sand. Hello, my name is Kristina Campos. I am founder of The Impactful Parent, and every week I give you parenting videos that can help you in your parenting journey. If you have a particular topic or a parenting question about your school age child that you would like for me to address, please submit it at theimpactfulparent@gmail.com or by messaging me on social media. And all submissions are kept anonymous. Today, I will talk to you about vaping and marijuana. I will explain why you need to get educated on this subject and how you can tell if your child is partaking in nicotine substance or marijuana substances. And stick around to the end because I will also give you tips for preventing and stopping your teenager from using them. So let's get started. Vaping is nicotine consumption. Marijuana is a drug. So, why am I grouping these two substances together if they are two completely different things? Well, for two reasons. The first is that both substances are extremely popular among our young people. The second, well, from an outside perspective, they look the same. The smoking cartridges of nicotine and marijuana appear the same from the outside. So, if you find one of these devices in your house, you won't know what's inside unless you smoke it yourself or have enough knowledge to open up the cartridge and understand the differences. So, here are some of the most common types of vape pens that you might find in your home. One of the most common questions I get from parents is, why is my child doing this? Well, aside from peer pressure, there is a popular misconception among young people that these substances will not hurt them. And this couldn't be farther from the truth. Kids also love vape pens, whether it's nicotine or marijuana, because when you smoke them, they taste sweet and they smell nice. Additives are put inside the smoking devices, resulting in a more pleasurable experience. Marijuana and cigarettes, they don't smell stinky anymore. Now they smell and taste like bubblegum or grape and various other flavors. Children think, how can anything so nice be harmful? Couple this with the tobacco industry spending billions and billions of dollars annually to market their products to your child, and it's no surprise that kids love vaporizing pens. But let's get out of la la land and into reality. You don't want your child consuming nicotine or marijuana, especially today, because these are not the same cigarettes and weed of our day. They are much more potent, and that means much more dangerous. So, if you're a parent thinking, I know it's bad, but we all did it when we were younger. I smoked cigarettes and I smoked a bowl here and there when I was young, and I turned out okay. Well, you need to understand that these substances of today are not like what you were smoking when you were a kid. One cartridge of nicotine in a vape pen is equivalent to 13 to 30 traditional cigarettes. And that means vaping nicotine is much more addictive. Marijuana has also evolved into a very potent drug. Sure, kids can still smoke the flower, but now there are so many other options. Marijuana edibles can easily be overdosed and make you sick because their effects don't hit you immediately. So, what happens is kids take one, and then when they don't feel anything after an hour, they take another. And before you know it, they are so high that they can't walk and they're throwing up. Or another way to consume marijuana is through concentrates. Concentrates are found in vape pens and in a smoking method called dabbing. Now, concentrates have an extreme amount of THC content. For example, a top shelf flower that you may have smoked a bowl or a bong or from a pipe has about 20% THC. Dabbing and vape pens have about 40 to 80% THC concentrates. That means you can get much higher off of one hit and also get the negative effects of the drug more easily. The next common question I get from parents is, how can I tell if my teen is using these substances? Well, aside from finding the physical evidence of vape pens, pipes, and lighters, I tell parents that they need to know their child well and notice behaviors when they start to change. Now, unfortunately, the most common signs of drug use are also the signs of a normal teenager and how they behave. But drug use signals are amplified. Most teens will go through a phase of mood swings and agitation and impulsivity, but drug use will make these warning signs more apparent. Don't dismiss these behaviors as normal unless they're very subtle and few and far between. And I suggest erring on the side of caution, not dismissal. This is why a good relationship with your adolescent is critical to catching warning signs early. You need to know your teen well and be on alert. In addition, you can be aware of changes in your child's behaviors, such as carelessness with their grooming, changes in grades, skipping school, losing interest in favorite activities, and changes in eating and sleeping habits. Look out for relationship problems with family members and friends also. And suppose your child has recently smoked marijuana and is trying to come down from their high when you see them, because in that case, you may be able to spot their bloodshot eyes or they might have a sweet fragrance on their clothes. Your child might even appear dizzy or uncoordinated. They seem like they're silly and giggling for no reason, and then they'll have difficulty remembering things that just happened. Many kids who try to cover up vaping nicotine or marijuana use incense and other deodorizers to mask the smell of their vape pen. They could also be buying eye drops and putting those in their backpack or in their medicine cabinet. So look out for these items and start taking notice. One easy sign that many parents miss is a child wearing graphic tees with promotions of drugs on them. Now, lastly, let's talk about prevention. It isn't easy, but it is the most important thing that you can do. Here are 5 steps parents can take to prevent their child from vaping marijuana or nicotine. The first, be a good role model. Your child will never listen to you if you smoke or don't walk the walk yourself. They just won't. Kids are watching and they learn more by what you do than by what you say. Number 2, talk about the risks of partaking in vaping any substance. Don't just leave this conversation to the schools. You have to have this conversation yourself, even if they're rolling their eyes and counting down the seconds until you're done with your spiel. Tell them how marijuana actually reduces their cognitive function permanently because their brain is still developing and smoking kills brain cells. Tell them how 1 in 6 teens will develop a substance use disorder and discuss the statistics that show that adolescents who use weed are more likely to try other risky drugs and risky behaviors that can ruin their life. Number 3, talk to your child about the myths of vaping. Discuss how marijuana and nicotine are addictive and harmful to their health. Just because marijuana is a plant and perhaps even considered natural doesn't mean it can't harm them. Discuss how not everyone is using these substances, even though it will feel like it to them, and then dispel any other false beliefs that they might have. And then number 4, have these conversations at least once a year. Don't talk about it just once and think, oh, I've done my due diligence. No, you got to revisit these topics every year or when the need arises. And lastly, number 5, role play and discuss ways your child can say no when facing peer pressure. This one is the most important thing that you can do for your child. Help them think of good one liners that will get them out of a situation that they don't feel comfortable when they're in it. And then rehearse these one liners often. Also, practice talking about body language and rehearsing those excuses with a confident posture and a strong voice inflection. Because people say no with more than just their words, they say it with their body, they say it with their voice. Consider talking about what will happen if they make a wrong choice and then find themselves in a compromised state. What will they do? Who should they call? Where would they go? All these are conversations that you should have with them so they feel secure. Now, many teenagers will experiment and do what they're going to do. Still, suppose you can arm your child with the right information and the ability to make a better choice more easily. And in that case, you're increasing their chances for success. And that's what I hope that you can do to be a more impactful parent. If this information was valuable for you today, become a more impactful parent by downloading the Impactful Parent app. The Impactful Parent app is free and full of episodes just like this one that's going to help you in your parenting journey. Because investing in your family looks like learning the warning signs of certain behaviors so that you could stop the bad things before they start. It's discovering new parenting techniques to make your parenting more effective and joining a community of like minded parents that also want to be the best parent they can for their child. All of this, plus so much more, can be found inside the Impactful Parent app. So download it today. You got nothing to lose. It's free. It's a parenting resource that's absolutely free, created just for you. So go to theimpactfulparent.com and discover how you can step up your parenting game and become a more impactful parent. But until next time, you got this, parents. I'm just here to help.